Alright, now I can turn the mic on. Welcome to Sunday's art stream. Study stream. Oh shit! Sorry, my video had the sound on. Yeah, we're drawing cats today and fur. I'm eating right now. But I realized that I wanted to stream at this hour, and then I realized I hadn't eaten and fed my animals, so I had to quickly do that. ASMR of me eating. Yeah, so anyway, I'm posting that I'm streaming. Sunday. Post. Oh man. Have you guys had a good week? That is the worst post I've ever seen, but I'm not gonna change it. I'm sorry. I made a turkey wrap with sprouts, which is like my favorite. That's what I'm eating. Sprouts that I grew myself. We are drawing kitties today, which is one of the best things you can draw. I should have put the link for the reference image. Yep. Okay. So you should be able to get it yourself. And follow along. So it's great that I'm eating because it'll give you time to like get the picture up. Yeah, I knew I wanted to do a white cat because like doing colors while fur could be a little hard at first. When I looked up white cats, a lot of the fur, like, because like fur tends to be in like tufts a little bit, it was just blasted out. They blasted out the image, so it was hard to find one that was lit well. Hope you guys are all safe. I know I've been hearing about Texas getting wrecked from the cold weather. Dude, the pictures of people's houses, like, because pipes explode in cold, I just feel bad. If I leave my garage open, that's what would happen to me, but I don't generally leave it open. One time, someone like called the police and got the police to tell me to close my garage because I left it open. That was weird. Because my water heater's in the garage and it's very cold where I live. I think it's because my garage, sometimes when I shut it, it actually opens back up. It like senses that there's something there in the winter because of the snow that kind of gathers around near the bottom. So that happens a lot. Moth's current ant, the one he had left that didn't die, it just disappeared one day. So he's gonna try again this year. I feel bad, but I don't know how to do ants either. Does it have to be the same image? I mean, you can draw whatever you want. I'm not in control of you. I'm just showing how to do this specific image. I mean, I'm not like a teacher, or official teacher or anything. I don't know. The ant might have gotten out or it died and disappeared. We don't know where it went. It was not very big. Okay. I'm done. ASMR of me eating. I'm gonna turn my sound down. I don't know how loud that is at all. There we go. I'm gonna... Okay, hopefully you've set up your canvas. Since a lot of you guys seem to use Sai. I think it's because it's like free. I can't tell you how to set it up because I don't use Sai and I've never used it in my life. Alright. So got the image on the bottom. The lines align. I always draw it bigger than what's there. The sniffles, I just am sniffly in general, I don't know. There it goes again. Okay. So number one thing to do is to sketch good image. Oh my gosh, that eraser. So when I used to do a head drawing class, the teacher used to refer to the head as the envelope, I remember. So he'd always be really big on getting the outside envelope shape of the head correct. That nose is so huge. What am I doing with my life? Everything's gonna be more noticeable if your sketch isn't right on, by the way, because this is now a live creature rather than like... Nobody notices if a strawberry is like a little bulbousy. So... yeah, that's gonna not be as fun. Sorry about that, but, you know, I didn't know what else to do. I guess we could have done a shag carpet, but nah. Cats are more fun. So I'm just noticing his kind of lip area ends like slightly beyond the nose. Remember to, while you're sketching, try not to draw what you think it is, but draw just how you see it, okay? So, we're not guessing that the cat's mouth goes like this and drawing a big ol', like, we're not doing that. It's small, you know, you can only see like this much, so we're drawing it just how much you see it. There's a flat on top of his head. It's pretty straight. Sorry, I'm calling the catty he. I don't know what gender it is. I just do that. Not tracing the cat because we're building our visual library in our head of how something looks and how to draw it, hopefully from scratch, should we ever need to. By the way, I'm not going to use these lines, so I don't know if you know this, but I'm not drawing lines for a line drawing. I'm drawing lines so I can put color and paint on it in such a way that I know where they are in relation to each other. The way I do lines for a line drawing are very different than for like a painting. So the way you do lines should be different for how you expect your drawing to end. Also, this ear is totally wrong. Look at how much further it was on the head. So I need to go further. Like, so just make sure you're kind of measuring things. You're noticing like the angles of the shadow. This is a shadow area. We're just drawing these shapes. So try to envision what you're drawing as shapes. Don't worry about what it is so hard. I probably drew this ear too big. I tend to draw ears too big on everything all the time. It's okay, we can always go in. Hopefully I'll take some time before I start laying down the paint to kind of just like size stuff. That's why we have the cool if you circle something, so you use the lasso, which is M, grab it, hit Control T for transform. You know, you can change stuff. So get it as close as you can, and then you can always go in and change stuff if you don't like the way it looks. I'm also looking, so the tip of that ear is kind of like lined up with the cheek right here, so I'm really off. The tip of this is with the center line. I haven't done the eyes yet. When I used to do head drawing, the guy would say, the teacher would say to kind of carve the features into the envelope of the face. So that's kind of what you're thinking of. So this ear feels a little... I thought that was my cat. Just my dog. My dog doesn't get into trouble, but my cat definitely does. My new cat is young, and he's been naughty lately. So I'm just looking for the shape of this eye. Which isn't too... I find flipping the image can help me really see where I'm going wrong too, so. Fur brushes do suck. I don't know. I don't really specifically pick a brush. I know they label it's for like this or for that. I just, whatever you feel like feels right to you. Because you can stylize the fur a little bit. I feel like this eye's going up too. He's got this neat little shadow right here. Are my ears still too big? Yeah, of course. That is just how I'm always gonna be for some reason. There we go, those are better. So I kind of see a line right here. Try to make your lines more angular if you can. So this is what I'm gonna kind of go with. He's got these fur chunks. When you measure, I'm just gonna measure down his nose a little. What I'll probably have to do, because he's furry, is I'll probably have to finish those ends or something. I don't think I've ever realistically drawn a cat in my life. Oh, wait, no, that's not true. I totally did when I was younger a few times. I drew my own cat. Is my cat too chunky? Maybe? Angles seem a little off. I like chunky cats, so it's okay. Probably. I think people will excuse a fat cat more than if the eye features are a little bit out of place. Just by the way. I don't know why it doesn't look like the tail's curling around like back into here. It's very weird. It's just like right, it just like goes into nothing right there. Like this, because this is the tip, and then it's not like going into his butt. I guess his butt is like really far down. That's weird. I'd say these are more upwards. Like, these are actually, there's like a whole shape right there. Mine were off. So I'm just gonna do some last second measuring. My mouth is probably lower. Maybe like that. To look at, these are very close, so probably my eyes need to be adjusted. And this almost forms another sort of cute little, where would you say it? Like right here? I'm gonna take these lines off so I can actually see my drawing, or what I'm drawing. By the way, when cats get fat, they get this like little armpit fat. It's super cute, like right here. My cat has some. He's not like really fat, but he's a little chunky. Alright, now I'm gonna look at it. I think my cat's like kind of balancing this way a little bit. This direction. So I'm just gonna take the whole thing. Yes. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take the body and do it. I think the head is pretty spot on, so. I don't really know how to like say this with this shape. Yeah, I'd say this indent happens right by the ear, so I'm gonna get that. And this other indent happens more near the eye, which I got close. Yep, that's how sketching is. I'm just gonna check my image a little bit again from the other side. What's okay is that even as you paint it, you can adjust it too, but I would say get it as close as you can before painting. It's harder to adjust it once you've started painting. Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna go at it. If something looks off, that's okay. It doesn't have to... I'd rather it look not off than be 100% matching the photo. So... I'm gonna make a layer below it, call it color. This is a line layer. And... oh, one second, I'm gonna do... I'm gonna use my close and fill tool to add gray. Store that. See if it'll do it. Mostly did it. Okay. And once again, check kind of the silhouette against the drawing. So just gonna make sure. Some people really make sure they're like, I remember seeing artists just like really get stuff down before like painting it, and I'm over here like, I don't give a fuck. Just go. I guess because they're quick studies. Like, we're not doing... I mean, there's several hours, but... I also yeah. Huh? Okay. Well, that's probably enough for me. Okay. Yeah, I think that's as good as I'm gonna get it. I mean, I can finagle with it, but I don't think it's gonna help my painting from here out. So, there are some perfectionists out there. I don't know if I were to do that for these types of drawings, I just think I wouldn't have any time left. Like, you have to move on. I feel like the ears are not correct, so measuring from there to there. Yeah. I'm gonna fix the lines, just gonna fix the because the line isn't part of the final drawing, so the line doesn't have to look nice. I think the eyes might be a little big too. Probably. That's probably something I also do. Should I shrink them? I don't want to, but I should. Okay. I'd also suggest, if you get to this point, to just get up for 5 minutes and come back, and then reevaluate your drawing. I'm not gonna do it right now. I kind of tried to for a couple seconds, but if you leave your drawing for a bit, you'll just see stuff that you might not have seen before. I'm gonna turn my lines down already, and oh, this is hard. I don't know why I grayed it out. So what I'm gonna do is like a dark gray background. And I guess I could do black because it's black in the photo, huh? Okay. So black we go. And then I don't like it being 100% black. I don't know, it weirds me out, but I guess that's fine. I'm just gonna grab a mid-tone, and I'm gonna say the mid. This is hard because this is clear. Please let me draw. This is clearly the shadows right here. These like sections. Remember, they're shapes. We're just thinking of as shapes. We're not pillow shading. We're not guessing where the shadow is. We're drawing exactly the shadow we see on here. We're not gonna go to our cat and be like, oh, there's a shadow here and a shadow here, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of shadow under everything. No, we don't do that, okay? It starts to fall into pillow shading. So, looking for shapes. This is clearly a highlight. There's some highlights up here. There's highlights on the cheeks. There's a little bit here. There's a little bit here and here. Definitely here. So we don't want those either. Those are too light. We're looking for in between the shadow and the mid. And I'm gonna say, like, here. It's like a gray. Ooh, it's bluish. And I'm just gonna take my color layer and fill the whole thing with that color. So there it is. So that's kind of like this. It's like this color. Let me outline it. This color right here. That's the mid-tone I'm going for. And you don't have to find the perfect mid-tone, because all the mid-tone is like kind of where you think it is. It just has to be about there, so that when you add the highlights and then the shadows and then the colors in between, you have something kind of between both of them. I'm sure you could probably do the highlights and then add all the mid and the other thing, but then you're spending a lot of time in the mid area. So, okay. And next thing. is I like to start with shadows, I think. So normally I'm going to tell you not to color pick, but today I'm just going to color pick to show kind of what's going on. So this has a lot of blue coming from this direction. If you notice, this is kind of blue right here. We got a little bit of blue. It's like all over here. Just notice that there's a little bit of blue. But then we've got like a yellow. So if you notice, boom, my triangle changed to yellow when I color picked. So you can see it right in there. There's just some sections. It's usually where kind of like the highlight is pouring through the fur. So we got blue. We got yellow. Kind of funny how it's in both, but it's obviously not a lot of saturation. There's hardly any there. So for the darks, I'm gonna guess we have a bit of yellow too, and oh, it's orangish. So just keep that in mind as you're going through it. Hopefully your eyes can see that and pick that up. Just the slight color changes in this white fur. It's very slight. And notice it's it goes from a high key to a low key down here. So keep that in mind, and so I'm just gonna go and pick. So since I know that those are oranges, somewhere around there would work for me. And we're gonna lay on, it's just flat right now. We're not doing the fur texture. Don't worry about the fur texture right at the beginning. We're worrying about getting the values down on first. So, and kind of matching it. And it's not going to look good at first. You probably have to rework a lot of areas. I've found that I usually have to rework areas to get the image that I'm looking for. But that's okay. I'm going to grab my blue. So it's already pretty blue from my mid-tone. I'm just gonna go up to my yellow. It's probably not that yellow. There's some highlights. Obviously we got some pink in the ear, so try not to color pick. The reason we don't color pick too much is that if you color pick a lot, you won't learn. We're not tracing, we're not just copying the image, we're learning how to create the image from scratch by using it as a reference. So if you don't color pick, you have to learn, oh, this one is more saturated than the one near it and darker, or this one is less saturated and lighter, or only more saturated. So I'm trying to find this little sliver right here, and I noticed that it's definitely, so if you have the whole ear, it's like that. I noticed this little sliver is very saturated just right there, so it's kind of like that, but I noticed it's darker than the one I put down, so I'll do it again. And that, I'd say that's about where it is. You get a nice dark red down here. It's probably too dark. I don't know, that's close. And then you're gonna have hair in front of it, which I'm not gonna draw yet because that's a texture. We're not drawing the textures yet. Definitely this muddy orange color for the shadow. I'm actually gonna go a little bit more blue where these sections are. I don't know if I go too blue, but a little bit more blue. Maybe darker. Yeah. It's very slight. A lot of painting is comparing color around it too, so yours may not match the image that you're referencing from 100%, but you want to get the ratios. Oh, this is this much lighter than this part, and so we're not worrying about those details too hard. We just want to get about where some of these lights and darks are. I'm gonna Grab this blue. Now obviously that blue is very saturated and it's darker than this. They probably pushed the blue of that cat's eye. It's not that saturated. I think it's a little more, yeah, of a push towards the royal direction. So I call this the royal direction and the turquoise direction of blue. You get the royal, you get into the purples. You go to the turquoise, you get into the greens of blue. What inspired the name Potax? My favorite quest in Zelda is the Po quest. Nose is a bit more pink. Ew. Probably not that pink. Probably like blue. I'm gonna start really dragging those lines down. I just slowly turn the lines down over time. You only need them to kind of help you set down paint and things, and once you get it, then you don't, I find you don't need them as much anymore. I think there's a little bit of pink where this mouth is, but not like a noticeable amount. You can like dog. I have cats and dogs. They're both good. I do prefer cats over dogs, but I do have both, and I love them both. I think I'm pickier with dogs that I like, whereas like with cats, I pretty much universally like all cats. Like so I would say the most important thing is to get your values correct over your colors and your textures. So just make sure that you hammer those values in very clearly. Maybe use a texture brush on that. I want to get a clean black. So if you notice, this eye has a lot of like darks and blacks in there. So we're gonna have to capture those. Just the shape of how it is. Most people want to, you're gonna want to draw a clean eye, but it's not actually clean. There's a lot of dark. There's always a lot of shadows coming that's over the top of an eye because your eye is under like a brow. I'm actually going to come back at this eye later, just because it's kind of hard to do right now with the... Mine are too blue. They're actually too saturated. I need the lines to actually go away to do them. So if you notice, at first it didn't look that good, and the colors are already starting to kind of come together a little bit. I really do like this blue. So he actually has a lot right here of this brown. And then it goes into, like, in between the tufts is the brown kind of shadow. And then the brown yellow. It's a yellow. Brown isn't actually really a color, because you can get brown through any color. The most common is orange. It's generally desaturated, low key, so usually about right here is where browns are found. So most people do the orange one. This one's a yellow brown. You can actually do it for every color, but brown is dependent on the colors around it to look brown, if that makes sense at all. This is more yellow, more orange. I'm trying to look for this color right here, which is actually kind of green, I think. Yeah, there it is. So that's extreme, but probably not that extreme. Maybe for the darker areas. There's definitely a blue coming down right there. Just look for those shapes. Always look for shapes in chunks of colors and try to match them up. Don't think about what it is. Think about what shape it is and what chunk of color and value it is. Remember, anyone can learn how to draw. Talent comes from practice. You aren't born with talent, you develop talent. That's a huge lie that people always... You're not just born able to draw. There's a lot of this kind of over here. The brown explanation. It's hard to explain it until you actually mess with it, but brown can exist for every color. That's why brown isn't a color. It's usually a desaturated, low-key color, and then because you put it next to a certain color, it'll just look brown. Brown is a trick color, which is why it's always been such a neat concept, I think. I think people try to use words on colors like salmon and stuff, but really that's just like a pinkish red. I try not to use those too much because they're kind of, I don't know, I think it's better to use the clear name for it. Like pink isn't really a color either, it's light red, because the color's on this color wheel, and then you have all of these dimensions in this one color section on this wheel. So you get red is the color, and then you desaturate it and lighten it and you get pink. Like, but that's this red section. It's from this red color. I don't know, it's weird. Adding white to a color doesn't change its color. That's the thing. Or adding black doesn't change its color. It's still the same color. You've just desaturated it and lightened it or darkened it. So that's what's so difficult about explaining color to people that don't quite... Yeah. There's a whole mix of colors in that tail. Alright, I've kind of laid these out. Obviously I could do more, you know, you see a lot here. And now I'm going to go for a bit more of the details. There's some of that yellow, you can see it right here. I'm going to put some right down in here. Alright. I'm gonna start rendering it a bit more. I know you're supposed to block in more than what I do, but I think I'm kind of impatient. Which is weird because I like to do animation, and animation is like the most annoying. Drawing is like not a patient thing. My music just cut out. I think every hour the autoplay stops working. I'm gonna turn my lines even further down. I really don't need them at this point, since I've laid out almost everything. That's how you slowly get rid of lines. Lines are just there to kind of guide you, and then you don't need them anymore. I don't know if I want a fur brush or just to use the texture of this brush, or draw the fur texture by hand. So I don't know if you know this, but at this point, because I have most of these colors laid out flat, I can use, which if you press Alt while using a brush in Clip, it just gives you the eyedropper, and I can immediately grab from the colors that have been set out around the character and use them. I'm just gonna start blending and putting these details down. So I can grab this really red and just add a tiny bit to this red right here. This is light red, and you immediately get a nice blended, kind of darkened red area, and I don't have to, because I already set all the colors out. I think I'm actually going too light on this. I'm trying to... I'll probably come back to it and figure out if I want it, because you kind of look and see, oh, where's my lightest lights and where's my darkest darks, and then work with those. When I get the ear color in the back done is when I will draw the fur in front of it, because that's just a fur texture that isn't too important. A big thing is the outline, probably, sorry, the silhouette, or like the outer edge of the cat should probably match with a fur texture on it. I'll probably start working on doing that. I'm just gonna draw it by hand. I know they have brushes for it. I'm just getting rid of my line. I don't need it anymore. And now I have a lineless drawing. Easy. I'd say this lightens up even more. The other thing is where your artistry comes in is when, so now that you're drawing it and maybe you have a good feel for drawing, how you do your textures, how much do you push your lights and shadows compared to the reference image. Things like that are going to come into play. So the texture, I think right here isn't too extreme. I'm probably not going to draw it too extreme until later. I really don't want to start texturing the cat until later. And then, but right here for sure the textures of the tufts need to be very defined. And I actually specifically picked this cat in order to eventually do those. And I can see that there's a little bit, just like a dab of that brown, kind of yellow. Sorry, it's not brown. It is a desaturated yellow. The other reason I try not to use, I always get on my husband's case about colors, is that if you use brown, like, because there's so many ways to create brown, if you just use the word brown all the time, do you know which brown it's coming from? Which color is it? Because it makes a difference. It really doesn't quite in a drawing, probably as much as you think, because drawings are all about value, I would say. Value is the most important part of a drawing. You can get the color wrong, but if you get the value correct, then you're already good. And then shape, obviously, is the next. Shape and value. These eyes are still more desaturated than what I drew. Here, maybe? Trying to get that glue down and smell. I mean, they do look really nice hyper blue. And I'm gonna go back and highlight them up again. Bit saturated. The hardest thing, the giant ice background I did was the hardest. For sure. So far. Just because there was so much in the picture and I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do all of it. It was too long. Maybe small sections of it would have been better. I mean, speedrunning the drawing, I don't know, I get impatient too when I draw. I don't see anything too wrong with it. Definitely some crazy yellow reflective light going in under there. I just don't know how much. I should just get it right and then slap some on. If you notice the, right here the ears should end approximately horizontal to each other, so make sure, I'm trying to make sure I do that here. And there's kind of like this circular section, yeah, like that. I only had one cat growing up, and he died while I was in college, and I don't know what my parents did with him. So, not like I had a say in it. I love that cat though, he was a really, really good cat. I'm noticing the fluff on top of his head is not honestly that, not that fluffy, so I want it to have the same texture as what the image has. kind of got this pattern on his head. If you notice, let me circle them. Right down the center, one here, and then like a triangular shape. It kind of branches out from here, so, of highlights. For Sans, I just use a skull still. I don't change my references for him at all. I don't know. He's just a cartoon, so you just apply what you know to a sphere instead. Is what I would say. He's almost got like a blue hue on the side. Oh, I'm gonna add that just all over so that when I cut the texture out, I'm just gonna cut it out. It's not that thick. It'll just be there. This time. Looks like he's got a couple shadow lines where the indent into his like, what is that? Poofy cheeks. I don't reference a lot for Sans, I'm gonna admit. I just reference myself a lot now. There's a lot of blue and yellow all in this spot. Pulling it off a little bit. I don't think it's as intense as I keep putting it on. I don't know, I find sands easier to draw than paps, so I don't know what to tell you. I think circles are easy to draw. So, for me, he's not that hard to draw. His chin is just melting into the whole image, so it's hard to bring it out. Darker than what I'm putting it on. What I'm putting on it, I think. I'm sorry, your cat face is way off. I just need to go darker than what I'm doing. I don't know why I don't want to. I just don't. It feels weird. Maybe it's because I need to just darken this whole area up a little bit. Yeah, there's no brown over here. I need like just dark blue. They're like sensory hairs. I don't know, I just call them sensory hairs. The long hairs in a cat. I'm actually going to put them on another layer. I normally don't, but I'm going to this time. And they're not white, so I don't want them too light. Light blue. I mean, I know they're white on the cat, but according to the lighting. Seems like if I were to imitate how they're coming out. Shit. My cats, they all kind of come out from like a tuft, but this one's a little different than mine. I wouldn't do the other ear yet because I don't think it's ready. Like, this needs to be much darker. I think once you have the image starting to like turn out too, I don't know why, but it feels easier to work with. Like all you're doing is fixing small things then instead of getting all the big stuff. By the way, I also use the letter C a lot for quickly switching to basically an eraser. I'm actually gonna push my ears darker because I did them on another layer. I can easily do that. Just on the insides. A little pinker too. I would say even darker and actually more desaturated what I have. This is the weirdest shadow I've ever had to deal with. Cat. Tips for making comics. Practice some non-large comics first. You will save yourself a lot of hassle if you do that. Because you have to kind of learn paneling, which isn't the same skill as drawing.
It's similar, but it's a little different. And if you haven't ever done it before, it takes a while to kind of learn how to do it right. How do you do paneling? Well, that is a big question. I'm still learning how to do it, by the way. How do you do panel? Man, that is a great question. You honestly gotta go look at your favorite comic slash manga, whatever it is you like, and see what they're doing, how, and like break it up. I don't have any good teachings on it because I was never taught how to do it. I just made that stuff up based off of stuff I saw that looked good. But you need to get a sense for how to do it. And so the best way to do it is short comics. And if make short comics about what you're gonna do, maybe. I don't know. Or some jokes. See if you can get characters or stuff told in 4 panels on like a page, like something really short. The majority of comics are actually told. So this is dark blue, and this is yellow. It goes. I'm having such a hard time. I'm just gonna look at it. So it goes from blue. Look at how it, I think it's gonna move on the wheel like this. So let's see. Yep. So it moved from blue to quickly blended into that yellow, which is what I'm trying to do. Oh, I'm going in the wrong direction. Weird. Yeah, your goal is to learn how to do movement and tell stories through panels, which is... It's different than drawing, because drawing, you just do a drawing, whereas this, you need to communicate an idea. Whereas drawing, often, your goal is to just get the picture to look correct. This has a lot more goals to it, if that makes sense. trying to put the undercolor down and then draw over with the fur color, so. Probably not that dark. I probably went way too dark. That's probably closer to what it should be.
When is my birthday? April.
I would not use me as a reference for paneling. I would use, because I'm still kind of learning. Some of my stuff is a little weird. Even now I can go back and like, oh, this would have been better if I paneled it this way. I would suggest like actual manga or comic artists that have been in the industry for quite a while because they know what they're doing. They would be the best to look at for that sort of a thing.
No, I'm not trying to be mean about it. I'm just actually saying, like, go study someone who's really competent, because I'm not, and I think you'll get better result. Get the best for your time. I'm not honestly seeing a lot of individual strands of fur in the shadow, which is a bit bizarre.
Why is my because that was my fanfic name. I made it originally for my fanfiction and not my art. So that is why it's the Skeleton Games. I wasn't actually drawing a lot when I started my fanfiction, so... I'm gonna get the major first. You read my Biddy Horror short story? That should be there with my fanfics, I think. Yeah, I used to write a fanfic a lot more. I really need to update it, and I've been feeling really bad about not updating it, but I don't know, I just haven't yet. People really do want an update because it's been a long time. Oh, this is taking forever. I wonder why people don't like doing this stuff. Yeah, I actually didn't draw for a while. I just did fan fiction a lot, which was helpful. I would say that fan fiction really helped me learn how to write dialogue, which translates to my comics dialogue. So it all kind of reinforced each other. So I'm not seeing a lot of tough stuff right here, so I'm not going to draw them. I see it more in the a little too gray, dark. There we go, that's more subtle. I don't need that there. I honestly don't want to keep rendering this all day. I don't know how people that draw like animals do this all the time, because I find it so tedious to do this kind of thing. I'm not made for this type of tedium. One thing I'm trying to do is not get too light, so that the fur in the lighter is still lighter than the fur in the dark ears that has kind of lights on it. You're done. go. That'll help. I'm having a hard time getting the texture in the right direction because my hand doesn't naturally go on that. I don't want to do all the fur stuff. It's just annoying. I should have just done a cat headshot, but I didn't think it would be that bad. I honestly was like, oh, it won't be that bad. That was my thought, and my thought was always wrong. I don't want to draw it. It's not even in the picture. I don't know where to put it. I don't want to make this texture. So annoying. I'm 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 very much sick of it already. I'm done. I've tapped out. I have no interest in long renderings of drawings. I don't want to do them. Ugh. I just don't have like my brain says I know it'll look good if I spend forever on it, but this is just a practice thing, so I don't care what it looks like because I'm not trying to show off anything special. Just a cat. Like, I just don't care to finish it, if that makes any sense. The head is all rendered and the rest looks like ass. Oh. This just looks... You know when, like... You're late... You didn't get your assignment done for class, and, like, the teacher totally knows because he knows your shit is better than that? That's the feeling. Remember my teacher be like, I know what level all of you are, so if you didn't do your assignment early and get, put the amount of time into it, I'll know because I know that that's not your that he'll recognize that that's not your work. It's like I know where all of you are. I swear this isn't a stripy cat. I'm just fucking lazy. I'm so done. No! I'm done. I don't want to do this. Need more yellow. I don't know what's going on right here. Just the whole thing looks awful. He needs whiskers. Whiskers. Wait, not white though. Like... Need eyeball whiskers. These ones. Eyebrows. I'm so done. I could have rendered out all that fur. Could I have? Yes. Do I want to? No. No, I don't. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done. One second. Alright, I'm putting it in the towel. I'm done. I don't want to do it. The tail looks like ass. Have mercy, teacher. I'm turning in an assignment I got tired of doing. I actually never did that, but I remember people would, and they'd be like, I could tell that you ran out of time. I also just want to work on my comics, so there. I think there's actually a lot more blue over here that I missed, but whatever. Alright, I'm gonna call it quits. So, I'll see you guys later, and good night.